All right, everybody, this is a 12-book celebration of women power in speed round style. I'm going to do my best to go fast. I wrote notes. I will attach stickers so that hopefully when this is over, you're going to see a round of the 12 books. But I thought either those who are looking for like a 12-day of Christmas celebration, or those who don't celebrate but are looking for a great title, one for each month of the year. I went through all of my past reads for the past year and I picked out the 12 where I thought these are some really strong women. Some of them may be quirky, some of them are absolutely not, but they overcame adversity, they kicked some serious butt, and I just want to share that with you. So the first one, A Bad Day for Sunshine by Dorinda Jones. Definitely not a cozy mystery. There is some graphic violence, there is some graphic intimacy, and there's definitely foul language. So if you're a cozy reader and you don't like all the other stuff, not a book for you. But otherwise, man, this woman she's takes nothing from nobody. Next one, the Goldie Smith Mystery Series. So read quite a few of those by Diane Mott Davidson. You have a woman who was a battered wife who came out of that relationship, who's raising her teenage son, who's trying to still maintain relationships with his father, but she is just a strong force to be reckoned with. And even when people beat the crap out of her, she still gets up and solves mysteries. So gotta love Goldie Schultz. Did I say Goldie Smith? I don't even know what I said. Goldie Schultz for sure if I didn't say that. Tita Rosie's Kitchen Mystery Series. I've talked about this one before. Absolutely one of my favorite mystery series of all times. This definitely falls into the cozy series. Also some LGBTQ representation, bilingualism, celebration of multiculturalism. So I love everything about it, but I also just happen to love that the main character is just a really strong, powerful young woman who is not afraid to be single, who is not afraid to have left college and not finished and to find her own way despite the pushback that she gets from her family. That one's by Mia Manansala. Mia Manansala. The next one, Murder at an Irish Castle by Ellie Brannigan. You have a young woman who is betrayed by her fiance, who takes everything. She winds up in Ireland. I absolutely love the setting. She pushes back against some of the local Irish people who are just trying to take her for a ride. And she's witty and smart, and she really finds her place quickly, and she proves that she's got brains and gumption. Mango Mambo Murder, which is part of the Caribbean Kitchen Mystery Series by Raquel Reyes. I've also talked about this one. Absolutely love the protagonist in this series. She's an academic, a PhD in, I believe it's food anthropology, I think is the degree name. Another celebration of bilingualism and multiculturalism, but also a celebration of academia for women, and just a real power force. I just love that main character. Vera Wang's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. I was hesitant to put this one on the list because Vera Wang herself is a little bit foolish, and there are times where I get irritated because it kind of plays into way too many stereotypes about the old woman who's not tech savvy, and sometimes I think this is just not fair to poor Vera Wang. But overall, she is a strong protagonist who really celebrates feminism, and who, even when she's kind of taking a step back and showing her weaknesses, she is inspiring the women around her to step into themselves as feminists and as strong female beings. So I absolutely love that. That one's by Jessie K. Sutanto. Apples Never Fall by Liam Moriarty. I love the woman, the main character coming into herself as a 70-something-year-old who's realizing, you know what? I have a right to an identity too. And some of the things I've sacrificed over my years of being a mother and a husband, I'm not necessarily okay with that. And she's in a bit of an identity crisis that I love, for lack of a better way to say it. And she's starting to feel like, you know what, I have rights as an individual, and I'm going to own those rights and don't get in my way. So I love that. Identity by Nora Roberts. Oof. Oh my goodness. So I almost stopped reading this one. I think it was around chapter 4 or 5, because not a cozy. There are definitely some graphic scenes, some descriptions of violence. Those of you who are cozy fans are not going to love this one. But it's a psychological thriller. It's Nora Roberts. But the main protagonist is being threatened by this man who has stolen her identity, hence the name. And she's bulking up and she's getting ready for her big day, and she's just not gonna take it from him, and she rebuilds her whole life. And I just love that one. So highly recommend. But you can't go wrong with Nora Roberts. Anyway, Mother-Daughter Murder Night by Nina Simon. There's a lot of push and pull between 3 generations of strong women, and how sometimes that can be a challenge in a mother, daughter, granddaughter triad relationship. But you come to really love each of the characters in their own right, and how strong they each are in their own identities. I struggled a little bit with this one, honestly, in terms of some of the grammar and the head jumping. So from a stylistic perspective, it wasn't one of my favorite reads, but story-wise and character-wise, it definitely makes the list in terms of strong protagonists. The Family Upstairs, Lisa Jewell. Again, you have a young woman who is basically raised in a cult setting and escapes essentially with her life and rebuilds her life and raises children in a healthy, normal way, and just goes on to be this really wonderful, healthy human being who overcame all the odds. And I just love it. The Marlowe Murder Club by Robert Thorogood. Again, some of the old lady, quirky, silly stuff, sometimes I was like, really? But I mean, you have this older woman who's going out and she's like skinny dipping in the river and all of these funny things. And she's smart as a whip, and she's a crossword maker, and she's got brains, and I just love her. Skeptic in Salem, which is totally different than the rest. It's by Fiona Grace. You have this woman who starts out, she's a scientist, and she's pushing back because the people around her in her science community kind of want her to bend to capitalism, and she's just not having that. And so at first she leaves because basically she's losing her job. She's losing her fiance. She's like, what am I supposed to do? I need to make money. And she kind of goes off to start this podcast. But in doing so, she realizes, you know what? I don't need any of that. And when they kind of might desperately want and need me and realize all of that, I don't really care because I'm my own woman. And so I love that. Anyway, I'll put all the stickers. I was really happy to share. If you've read any of them, let me know. If you're going to add them to your list, let me know. And if you have others, because I need a whole new list for next year, I would love to hear it. Take care.